Well, you can chase that dream all your life, but it just keeps slipping away.
But when you start to plan the Eureka way, you can see it coming true day by day. Eureka, now you found it. Eureka, now it's yours. Eureka, permanent, making that dream come true. Eureka, permanent, making that dream come true. Eureka, permanent, making that dream come true.
I had some more bad luck a few years ago. I lost my job at the boat factory and had to go back on the dole again. And I couldn't keep up the payments on the van, so the van got repossessed and we lost just about everything. So we decided to apply for a housing commission place and went back to live with Pam's olds while we were on the waiting list. Anyway, we had a choice of either moving out to Campbelltown or coming to one of these places, and we'd heard about these places before and seen them, and that's when young Veronica was born, and so we decided to take one of these.
When we moved back to Mum's this time, Keith was really down at that point, and he didn't know when he was going to get a job again, so I just decided something had to be done. And as it happened, it turned out well, because I'd had Veronica by the time we got a walk-up flat, and we all had a place to move into. And she's sort of taking up all my time now, so there's no chance of me going back to work to help save up for the deposits. This flat's pretty good for us at the moment. I can't see it being quite as good when the boys are a bit older and have homework and really need their own rooms to work in and things like that, and so eventually I'd like a house or a townhouse.
Russell, off that! How many times have I heard to say this?
Well, I don't mind it, you know. I mean, I'm, you know, it's pretty close to everything I want. I mean, it's close to the beach for me, and it's close to sports facilities like the footy or the races, you know, and it's the right price.
Keith's changed a lot, not just since we've been here, really, just over the years. He's gradually seems to take less and less interest in things, like the kids, and
How long was all this going to take?
and he seems to want to get out more and more. Like, I'll nag him sometimes and say, spend a weekend home with us, and if he does, he just says, what's there to do? He says he's bored, or he lies flat on his back in the bed and reads a book. I wasn't that mad about coming to Redfern first off, but the choice they gave us was Campbelltown or here, and I thought we'd be better off in the city because it was closer to the things I knew. I was really worried about the kids when we first came here. I thought, like, they're going to pick up all kinds of things, bad language, bad habits. Like, there's some pretty tough-looking kids in that playground. But actually, it was the other way around. They were a bit scared first of the other kids, and they got a bit quiet.
I think the kids are old enough now to start fending for themselves, you know. I mean, not fend for themselves, but I mean, they're capable of looking after themselves. You know, they can play on their own now. You don't have to go and rushing after them, making sure they don't hurt themselves. They can rough it a bit. And here, at times, they get under my feet. And so I've got to get out.
I don't think being on the estate's really very good for... It's a good place for fathers to get along with kids anyway. They sort of... I think a lot of them feel like they're just here for the weekend, like weekend boarder sort of thing. When they were younger, he used to play with them quite a bit, and they seemed to get on better, but now he has his little routine, and me and the kids get on with ours.
This is a factory here where kids can come after school. It's a big play area upstairs, and they've got a youth worker there who also organises things for the bigger kids. So they can let off all their steam over there, and I know they aren't out on the streets, and the young chaps who are running it are very good with that. You know, they let them do just about anything. When they get a bit older, it'll be harder for them around the inner city, because like now they're into playgrounds and sports sort of things, but I don't know how they'll go when they get a bit older and
looking for a bit of excitement, and they want more money to spend too. I'm a bit worried about that. I didn't feel really settled, I don't think, or sort of part of everybody here until I met the other women in the Tenants Association. They're just, well, we're just a small group of people who are trying to improve conditions, I suppose.
But this is not what's happening. You know, the newer ones are paying the higher rent, and the other ones, they're just going up that small level. But ones with...
Well, in the Tenants Association, we're just people who are getting together to work out their problems and then going as a group to the people running the place so that we can get things done.
I don't get involved in the association at all. You know, I see no point getting involved. You know, I mean, I see no point fighting for things that you probably will end up getting anyway. You know, I think it's just an excuse for a bunch of the women to get together. It's mainly women in it anyway.
Yeah, that's because most of the blokes have an attitude like yours, that's why. They couldn't care less.
I think most of the blokes just think a little more about it.
Oh, you get a lot done by thinking, you know. That's really bright. Influence the whole world by sitting there thinking at your kitchen table.
Yeah, lunch, boys. Lunch, man. Right now.
I guess I've got into a habit of just ducking off now and again, you know, over the years. Yeah, it's just a way for me and my mates from work to come out and get out in the sunshine and have a good time, you know. Sink a few. I do spend a bit of time away from Pam and the kids at the flat because there's just nothing to do there at the weekend, you know. I mean, what can you do there? I mean, you can't garden because the garden's already done for you. You can't go to you've got no garage, say, you know, where you can lock yourself away and you can sort of knock a bit of wood or something, or just sort of check out the car or sort of do something. I mean, to me, it's almost it's a place to just eat and sleep.
Like the newer tenants' rents are still going up $5, and the older tenants are going up $5 too, and there doesn't appear to be anything to bridge that gap.
It should work out fairly for everyone concerned. That's the whole purpose. That those who can really afford to pay a bit more should pay a bit more, and therefore that money goes back into welfare housing and provide more accommodation for extra people.
I don't know how much good it's doing, but I just know I'd go balmy if I didn't have a go. I mean, the thing that really gets me mad is that what we're doing is going to be of benefit to everyone. And we're not just kicking up a stink for ourselves, it's going to make their jobs easier if they listen to us.
And the ones at the bottom never reach the ones at the top, and it's usually the ones at the top are the young families.
I couldn't really give a stuff, you know, where I am now. It doesn't matter what house I'm in now. I mean, there's no point, I've learned over the years that there's just no point worrying your guts over where you're living, you know. You know, to me it was just bashing my head against a brick wall all the time, and there's no point doing that. After a while you just realise it's pointless, so you find something else to worry about. You know? I guess you could get used to anything if you like. You could get used to, you know, anything at all. You could get used to sleeping in a tree if you had to.
Well, we still put a bit away in the building society, but wouldn't worry me to own something, because really I suppose where I want to live now is where we are, like around the inner city, and we'd never be able to afford, like houses around here go for a real lot. People do them up, and quite, you know, professional people move in.
Striker 2. Now we've got trouble, Carmel. Try and stop the rot, an age at which person is considered old.
You're led to believe that everything's pretty easy. You know, have kids, get a house, it's all so simple. When in real fact it's almost impossible, which has been our situation.
I got married fairly young. I just didn't think about it. I expected everything was going to be easy because he had a good job then. And I guess what we've got now is, well, I'd call it more realistic.
I think our biggest mistake was probably having kids so early. And that really screwed us up. Because it's just you just don't get anywhere. It's just an endless battle against the system when you've got kids. Looking at where we've lived over the years, like when we were renting the places, you know, places we've rented, I sort of stuck by them, but Pam didn't like them at all, and so straight away there was a bit of a conflict, if you like. Out at the caravan park, Pam seemed to like it, but I didn't like it at that time. So there's another conflict, if you like, you know. And now I'm at the point where I just wonder whether I made a big mistake.
even if you get your dream home straight off, you know, you put in your garden and all that kind of thing, once all that's done, men tend to drift off looking for hobbies and things outside and regard that as just their little home base, you know, and the woman's supposed to stay home and look after that territory. So I don't reckon it would have been much different, even if we'd had a plain sailing all the way through. I've taken matters into my own hands and just made a life for myself, and that makes me probably easier to get on with than if I was hanging around Keith's neck saying, why didn't you do this for me and us? I'm capable of doing things myself, and that's what I've come to realise.
Well, you can chase that dream all your life, but it just keeps slipping away.
But when you start to plan the Eureka way, you can see it coming true day by day. Eureka, now you've found it. Eureka, now it's yours. Eureka.